Right, so I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. It says the revelation, which means revealing, of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Here is written Jesus Christ, which we know that the true name of the Lord is Yahweh Shah. Jesus Christ is a Greek name, which goes back to Iesus. So it says the revelations of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, which the Most High gave unto him. And here, for God, it will actually be Yahweh, right? Yahweh is the Father, which means He is, He exists. The word God is just a title. It means power, right? In the Hebrew, it goes back to Elohim or Elohim, which means judges, angels, deities, right? So here it says, in the Greek, it means, which is theos, right? So we know this is talking about who? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, right? Again, which means He is, He exists. So again, the revelation of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto His servants things which must surely come to pass, right? And if you go unto the prophecies from the Old to New Testament, it tells you things that shall come to pass. It tells you about wars and rumors of wars. It tells you about death. It tells you about hell, meaning a condition. It tells you about Jacob's trouble, which is coming to you, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. As many prophecies in the Bible that still have to come to pass, right? So it says, to show unto His servants things which must shortly come to pass, and He sent and sanctified it by His angel unto His servant John, who bear record of the word of the Most High, right? And a testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, and of all things that he saw. So it says, blessed is he that readeth. And this is my point going into Revelations 1 and 3 as reading, man. Being attentive to reading, like it tells you in 1 John chapter 4, verse 13, which we're going to grab that precept as well, as reading, right? Reading about, really, man, you should be reading Genesis to Revelations, right? And then if the Spirit is on you, and the Spirit of truth and the Spirit of understanding is on you, Lord willing, you know how to break it down the right way, because it'll tell you in Isaiah, what is that, Isaiah 28, 9 and 10, I believe. It'll tell you to read here a little, there a little, right? So in order to break down the scriptures in its proper context, you have to put the puzzle pieces together. It's just not a straight out understanding like that, man. And just like that's a major problem with these different religions out here, is that the Spirit isn't on them to put the puzzle pieces together. Whether if it's going into who the children of Israel are, who the Lord came to come save, going back into the pedigrees, the lineages, who the Lord loves, who He hates, and we have the correct understanding through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, because we're putting the puzzle pieces together, which is a very difficult thing to do. Some people give up on the puzzle altogether, while you have some who will either put it together the same day, or you have some who will put it together over time, right? And here the Lord have put it in our spirit to put this together over time. And that's what's happening, is that these scriptures, this word, is now beginning to put or be taught in the right way it should be taught, whether people like it or not. You know, So let's get back to it real quick. So Revelations 1 and 3, blessed is he that readeth. And look, a lot of people don't read, man, because you will have people going around. You will have, these I don't know if they're Christians or whatever religion they're in, but they'll go around and offer people like $20 just to say a Bible verse. And you'll have one out of 1,000, one out of, I'm not saying he go up to 1,000 people, but I'm pretty sure he goes up to a lot of people. But you'll have one out of like 20, 25 people say a Bible verse. Because there was an interview, I forgot what the dude name was, but he said God is dead. And it's making it more apparent that these people really do believe that God doesn't exist, because now people are more fixated and worried about making money, getting the best job, getting the best cars, wearing the best clothes, and not fearing the Heavenly Father and His Son. And it's completely evident that is a fact, man. You have more people becoming atheists, or you have more people becoming atheists than believers, man. Shit, even a lot of these so-called Christians don't believe, man. A lot of them just in there, let's be honest, man. A lot of them are in there on some so-called getting right because of all of the messed up things that they did back in the day. Like a lot of them old women, because if you notice about churches, man, a lot of them are filled with women. A lot of them filled with women. All these women that you see in these churches, a majority of these women in these churches have been with multiple guys, been party animals, been doing all sorts of things all across the world, and now they want to call themselves getting right. And even by them going into those churches, they still ain't getting right, because you got these same hoochie ass women in these churches shaking they asses in these churches. Let's be real. There's all type of videos coming out on that. So what I'm saying is not too far-fetched. It's not too far-fetched. This is why it's very important to read the scriptures, because the scriptures, the Lord is telling you that He's about to bring judgment down upon the wicked. He's about to, and that's not just Esau. That's not just the other nations. That's also you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord is about to bring judgment down upon the wicked. And while y'all dwelling in those churches thinking that y'all getting right, the Lord gonna judge y'all in them too, man. The Lord gonna judge y'all in there. That's why he had that Edomite, red hair Edomite going to church shooting people up, right? And correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe that the so-called white dude that went into the truck, I believe he had red hair, did he not? Well, we can look it up real quick. I don't want to be wrong on this. Right, the Lord ain't in there, man. You got fights breaking out in them churches, right? And the same group of people. Now you will say, oh well, there was an Israelite fight between IUIC and GOCC. Those are two different groups. And believe me, they're not mature enough to be teaching this word to begin with. The elders and apostles are always rebuking them dudes from going off, man. They're more worried about their fashion, their looks, and their money than worried about the true power of Yahweh Shema Shai, because they're running around calling the name Most High Christ bless. But I don't want to get on them. I don't get on videos about other camps. Pretty much the apostles and elders are already doing that. My point is just reading, man. My point in this video is reading, being diligent and doing so. But let's find out who shot up that church. Dylan Roof, yeah, I wanted to get it right. It wasn't the redhead dude. I think the redhead dude shot up the movie theaters, but this dude was a so-called white dude, golden retriever hair type dude. His name was Dylan Roof. The Lord sent your enemy into a church and gunned it down. That's what He want to do. You know, it's funny to me that when a so-called black man walks in the white neighborhood, he gets questioned about what he's doing. But the minute a so-called black man does it to a so-called white people, the whole comment board lit up with people talking about that ain't right for you to be doing that. You know, it's crazy. And the crazy thing is the comment board be filled with a bunch of so-called black people. Because these black people always want to be crotched under their enemies, man. It makes no sense to me. They constantly show their hatred towards you, and you constantly want to be closer to the one that hates you. That's crazy as hell to me, man. But again, Revelations 1:3, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, because this isn't for everybody, man. This isn't for everybody, but I'm going to cut it from here and say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. I like to say Shalom.